Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make Periwinkle. Now, I have the standing skirt here and her wings. These are two items that you will not be shown how to make in this tutorial. I have videos on my YouTube channel on how to do the detachable fairy wings, so if you could please make sure that you have those available. I'm going to take these off. As you can see, they are detachable. So you will need to make a pair of fairy wings, and they are the glitter white, and then I've also used the Sweet collection blue. I've written it on this little box here. It's Rainbow Loom Sweets, the turquoise blue. So I will be using that for Periwinkle's outfit and her shoes. I'm using white for her hair, skin tone for her flesh. I'm using, I believe these are the Persian turquoise for her trousers, and then white, I said white didn't I, skin tone white, Persian, and the sweets. And also we're going to be using the 7mm by 4mm mini pony beads for her eyes. Okay, so, and glitter white for the skirt, for the little frills and the wings, and then again I've got them tipped. Okay, so as I said, there are tutorials on my page. They will be, if you have annotations turned on, you will be able to see those links very clearly in this video and click on them, and it will take you to a new window so you don't mess up what you're looking at on this window, and you will be able to make those easily. So we are just going to make Periwinkle's little body. You're going to need a single loom. It's going to be in the offset configuration. Column 1 and 3 are going to be lower than column 2. We're going to have the open part of the peg facing towards us, and we're going to be double banding. So double banding means you take two bands and you place them on the pegs together as if they were one. Alright, so there's two bands, place them on the peg as if they were together as one. We're doing a crafty ladybug technique for the back of her hair. This is the most brilliant technique, and I think everybody should use it. And if you haven't seen her channel, please go and look. She's got some fabulous stuff up there. It was actually brought to my attention the other day that people had been accusing Crafty Ladybug of stealing my back of the head hair design, and I quite clearly state in my videos that I am using my friend's design, not the other way around. So if any of my followers are accusing my friend of stealing from me, I'm actually going to be really upset. I clearly state I use her technique, and she's a dear friend of mine, so please keep your thoughts and opinions on that to yourself if you don't know the full story, or if you haven't bothered to listen to what I'm saying on my tutorial. So we have white for her hair. This is a skin tone band that we're wrapping around twice and popping on the end of her hair here. We're then going to dig down past that and grab those two bands and loop up. Then we grab the two from the side and loop to the side, and the next two and loop those, and then we're going to loop this middle column up twice. That's once and twice. We're going to loop this side up once and this side up once. And the reason we don't loop it up any higher is we want the face to link in with the hair, and that's important. So next we're going to get some skin tone bands and lay those. So two, well, that one doesn't look very healthy, does it? Let's put that to one side. That would be a broken band in 5 seconds. Two bands, place them on the centre. You don't go up the top here because that's her hair. And I am sorry for my croaky voice. We've been getting over a nasty bug here. But thank you for all the well wishes. We're on the mend. to here. Now we're going to do a crossover band with a single band, stretch across like that, and here we're going to take a single band and twist it once, twice and 3 times, and I like to put those there to stop the eyes from falling to the back of the head. Now I'm going to be using black beads, as my eyes. You can use black bands, it really doesn't matter. One band wrapped around your hook 4 times is the equivalent of a bead, so you'd do that twice. Then you'd slide onto your skin tone band and stretch across, position the eyes, and then take the top part of the band up and over this part here. Now it's very important, this part you mustn't forget. You have these 2 bands here for the neck, but underneath it you have 2, well it's 1 band, but it's used as an end cap. You're going to put your hook under that and pull it over the neck area, and that ties the back of the hair into the face. It's a very important step. Next we're going to do her shoulders and her chest. Again, we're double banding. Next we're going to move on to the turquoise blue. And again we're doing pairs. I just had the fun of dropping these all over the floor, which was a bit annoying, so I'm busy getting cat hair off them. Now we're going to do 2 blue here, and then we're going to do a couple of white. We're just going to do a pair of white here, like that. Likewise here, I'll go down, because she has white on her little dress too, doesn't she? Okay, then we're going to use, and it's only a couple of these Persian, but her pants are a very different colour, her trousers. So I know I've been making all my English friends laugh by saying pants. In England, pants are underpants. And when I moved to Australia, I quickly had to realise that pants were the American term for trousers. So every time I would say, "Oh, put your pants on," we'd have a giggle because it was like, "Put your underpants on." And I'm so used to saying it now that I don't even think. So all my English friends and viewers giggling about doing the pants. We're doing trousers. Okay, let's do some feet with the cat hair. 2 bands around your hook once and twice. You're going to slide on to 2 bands. Don't reclaim just yet. You're going to take another 2 bands and 3 cat hairs, wrap it once and twice, and then you sort of slide the other end back on, you reclaim it. Let's try that again. There we go. We're going to have 2 skin tone bands, and we will slide these on. Okay, the cat hair is really annoying me. Reclaim the end of your band, angle, and pop on the end of the foot here. Let's do the same again. 2 bands, wrap once and twice. I'm going to slide onto 2 bands. Take another 2 bands, wrap once and twice, and then reclaim the end like that. You're going to take 2 skin tone bands, and we're going to slide these on. I do the first 2, and then the wrapped band, and then the next 2. Reclaim the end, angle, and pop on the end of the foot here. Now at this point we're going to put 2 white bands from there to there, 2 of the turquoise bands from here to here, and a white band on the end. Wrap it once and twice like that as our end cap. Across here we will put a single blue band, just stretch across those 3, and then on the one above we're going to take it and we're going to stretch it and figure 8 and loop it on itself and stretch across those 3 like that. The same again. This gives her a waist. This draws her in and gives her a waist. Now these are silicone bands, they're a little bit difficult to pull. If you need to, place the crossover band on the 2 pegs and then use your hook to stretch it across. It doesn't hurt your fingers as much. A single knot looped on itself across here, and then we're going to do skin tone for her arms. So a single wrap once and twice, and we're putting onto 5 pairs. So here's our first pair, our second pair, third pair, 4th pair, and 5th pair. Oops. Pop that on the end of her arm. Let's do the same for the other side. A single, wrap once and twice, slide onto the first pair, the second pair, the third pair, the 4th pair, and the 5th pair, and we'll pop that on the other arm here like so. Now we are going to do a bit of work with her hair up here, but we're not ready for that just yet. So I've got these bands ready when I need them, but I'm not quite there yet. So let's get a few more of these blue bands and cat hair because we're going to do a little fluff out here and we're going to do a little fluffy frill out here as well. Okay, so dig down. We're going to grab these 2 skin tone bands on either side and loop up and loop up and loop up and loop up and loop up. When we're at this stage, we're going to take 2 white bands, turn this on its side. We want it to go under these Persian bands. So we're going to stick our hook through this peg and we are going to miss those bottom white bands that go above. Alright, so we're just going under these turquoisey bands. Take a pair of white and slide them out to the side like this. Okay, then you're going to take another pair of white, sorry, I'll put it on its side so you can see, and slide those through like so. Now the reason I've done it this way, and I will show you the difference, I'm going to pop these on here for a second so you can see this is where they're going to live. The other way that you can do an extension like this is to take once and twice, slide it onto a pair like that, and then you would pop this pair here like that, and you would stretch the end cap out, put your hook through the end cap, those 3 loops, you stretch that out and put it here. Now have a look at the difference. This one goes either side of these bands. Can you see? Not when I throw my hook in your face, you can't, no. It goes one side and the other, so it's either side of these. This is all on the top. There's nothing the other side as well. So when you come to loop it up, it looks vastly different. So I have been using this technique lately instead of this one. I like that it goes either side. So I'm going to take that off. I'm now going to slip my hook down the center of this, making sure, now you can see I've caught those lighter blue ones. I don't want those light blue ones. I want to come out and just capture those. Grab this, bring it back through, and I've caught myself on the crossover band there. Let me get a real hook. I'm doing this upside down so I can see, so I can show you. So push your hook down, make sure you're not catching these bands. Grab your two, pull them back up and to the side like that, and you can see you've captured all of those bands in the middle there. Get another 2 bands, place on your hook, and you are going to pull those through and reclaim the end on here like that. Okay, and then that is going to sit on this peg here. Okay, we're ready to loop up a little bit, so I'm going to take this side off my loom, hold it out to the side. Actually, I'm not, I'm telling you fibs, I'm going to do the other side first, and I'll tell you why. This is important for you guys to know. Have a look which ones are on the top. There's blue ones on top and then the white ones, so the blue ones have to go first. So let's take this one off the loom, hold it out to the side. We're going to dig down past that white end cap, okay, pull it back, grab the 2 top blue bands and loop, okay. Then you're digging down here to find the 2 blue bands and loop up. That's locked this into place. We can now put this back on this side here, and then as we dig down and find the 2 bottom bands, that's one, let's find the other one, come here, there we go. Now that's locked into place. Alright, so we'll do the other side. I'm going to take these white bands off and hold them out to the side like that. I'm going to dig down past the end cap and grab those 2 white bands, loop them to the side here, dig down, find the 2 white bands and loop them up. Now we're going to replace the little fluffy frill bit here. There we go. And we will loop up those 2 blue bands, and that's locked that into place. Let's do this centre bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to do the arms before I do the neck, the throat and neck. So I'm going to go up here and up here, dig down and do the arms to the neck, the arms to the neck, and then the chest up to the neck. Push things down. You're finding 2 bottom skin tone bands and looping up. Now here we're going to find the 2 on the top and loop them to their corresponding side. 2 on the top, loop to the corresponding side. And here we have this end cap that we use to tie the back of the head in, so be careful you're not grabbing that. You just want these 2 middle bands to loop up, okay, and then these ones loop up, these 2 top skin tone, and the 2 top skin tone. Now I want to do something to the hair here, but what I'm going to do, I need to use the bottom of my loom to do it. So I'm going to take her legs off so that I have a bit of space to work. Okay, you can do it beforehand, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to take 2 bands, white bands, and place them here. And I'm going to then take 2 white bands and place here. I'm sorry, I'm telling you fibs. I'm taking 2 and stretching like that. So let's move these ones. Like that. Okay. I'm taking 2, placing here, 2 here and 2 here. I'm going to take a single and wrapping it around my fingers like that to place on these 3 pegs here, and I'm going to put end caps on each of these. Single wrap it once and twice and pop on the end, pop on the end, pop on the end. Dig down and find the 2 bottom white bands and we loop up. And the same on the other side. Loop up and loop up. We're looping this to the centre, this to the centre, and this to the centre, and then we're going to take 2 white bands, dig down, poke out the side here, pull back through. You want it to be at the back of the peg here, like that. Take the first 2 closest to you, up, over and off, and pull tight. We can take this off the loom. This is going to be her little sort of puffy hair sort of extension, I suppose. And we're going to go through our end cap. There's 3 little loops. One little loop is going to go here. One set here. And the last set. Oops, let's get all 3. There we go. Here, like that. All right. Okay. Let's continue with our looping. Going to loop up to here. Push those crossover bands back with the back of your hook so that they don't get in the way. Loop this up to here. And it's important that you put this extension on before you close everything off, because otherwise it's not going to be incorporated into her head. Okay, so we have that there. We're going to take 2 white bands, poke your hook through, all the way through the bottom and out through the side. Grab those 2 white bands and pull back and to the back side of the peg. If you pull this up, you can see that there is a hole here. Push your hook through it, grab those 2 white bands from the other side and pull back, and then take this off and secure. Now that can sit the other side. All you do is again stretch it out and pull that tie-off band to the back of the head like that. We're going to take her off the loom. I use the back of a metal hook to help me. I dislike broken bands, and I do feel that when you just pull your creation off the loom, you really do run the risk of having bands break on you, especially when you've got them looped on themselves or there's multiple bands on a particular peg. Okay, so here she is. Let's stretch her out. I stretch the arms up and pull them down so that she doesn't look like she's a scarecrow. Move the loom out the way. Okay, so here she is. Now, in order to have these little tie bits, well, first of all we're going to just hide this bit at the back of her head. I'm going to pull these actually through to the front of her hairstyle. So I'm just going to poke my hook through and pull them back like that. Okay, so I'm going to start using these as her bangs. fringe. With these ones, we're going to go through her little beehive here, grab those bands and pull them back. That's one. Let's see if I can grab the other. It's funny, I hung on to my British terminology for the longest time, even in Australia, where some words are a little bit different, and I clung to the way I say things, and there's still some things that I do. But as soon as your kid goes to school and starts coming home and saying words that are very Americanized, it's so difficult not to be talking to her in her language, I guess. So you know, she still calls a tap a tap, not a faucet, but there's other things that, yeah. All right, so with her bangs, her fringe, see these two bands either side? We're going to pop our hook through the outer side one, bring one down and out like this, and let's do the same on the other side. Go for the out, get rid of the cat hair. Go for the top one here and pull it out to the side like that. Now what I did from there, I had two, and what I did, I'm just checking, I linked to the back. You have two front bands here and two bands at the back. I went to the back and had that white loop on my hook as well, took a single band and went through both of them and did a slip knot, a tight one like that. So let's do that again this side. So I'm going through the back two and getting that white loop on my hook, taking a single white band, pull it through completely and start again. Maybe this should be my bloopers video. Now, yes, I do want it this way, and pull it tight. Okay, and then what I did, I just took my little scissors and I just snipped the ends off like that, so that it didn't look as if it was a loop, as if I've got these two little single pieces of wispy hair on the side of her face. Stab myself with my scissors quickly, and there we have her. Now if you're looking, you can stretch her face into shape a bit. She looks a bit jowly, doesn't she? There we go, that's better. If you're looking how to attach the wings, very easy. On her back here, you'll notice there's these two bands and these two bands. You put your hook through one side. For our example, we're doing the right, and you take one loop of her wings and pull it through, splay that wing band open and pop it over her wing. And you're going to do the same the other side. Go through those other two skin tone bands, grab the other loop, the other tie off loop for the wing, pull it through, stretch it out and pop the wing through like that. And there you have her wings on her. And as I said, you can make her standing skirt as well, and to do that you would use the tutorial that I have on YouTube, and then to add her into it, slide it onto a spoon like this, and you're going to stuff her little legs in, stuff her feet in, and make it so that she's almost, it looks like she's lying down in the spoon having a little nap. Okay, and then pull this back. It's better to do it higher than lower, because you can pull her out to the desired height. And there you have her standing in her little dress. So there we have Periwinkle. I really hope you enjoy making her. Take care. Bye bye.